Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in for this video, and thank you so much for being a subscriber on my channel. I was so excited yesterday when I hit 20,000 subscribers. I'm now at more than 20,000 subscribers, and I think it's just incredible and unexpected and just something I did not think was really going to happen, but I am so thrilled, and me and Tyler are going to shoot a really fun celebratory video at some point when he has time, so it's coming, don't worry. In the meantime, I wanted to share with you a product that I sort of highlighted in one of my previous tutorials, and it is this lovely black clutch here. But actually, this is full of makeup brushes. This is from Coastal Scents, and it rolls out to hold all of these brushes. You can see how many there are. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 brushes in this thing. Okay, so this is a really, really cool way to store them all and have them all in one place. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and walk you through each of the brushes and why I like them, and then I'll kind of talk over who I think this would be a really good product for, okay? So anyway, as I said, it unwraps, and this is a nice, like, kind of snakeskin looking exterior there, so it's not going to get all dirty. It's nice and shiny. You could just wipe it right off if you got something on it. And then on the inside, you have all of these nice little slots here for brushes to go in, and the size of them kind of varies a little bit. So if you had a smaller brush, like if you wanted to take one of these out and you didn't use one a whole lot, but you had another brush you wanted to sub in and just keep it in here, I mean, this holds 15 brushes. So if you don't like all 15 that it comes with, then you can put in whatever you want to sub in for those few that you don't like. So anyway, to show you a brush here, let's see, what brand of brushes does this remind you of? These look exactly like Smashbox brushes, right down to the little detailing right there on the ferrule. They feel like Smashbox brushes, and I have a small handful of those. I probably have like 5 Smashbox brushes. They're nicely made. There's a nice weight to them. This is the biggest brush in the set, and this would be your powder brush. This is probably, these first 3 that I'm going to talk about are my favorites in the whole thing, and they are the 3 really nice face brushes. So this is great for your all-over powder foundation, or not powder, well, I guess you could use it for like a mineral powder foundation, but what I was thinking was the loose powder to set your makeup, bronzer, highlighter, things like that. This is a great size. You can see how, you know, nice and big and full it is. It's got a nice tapered shape. That means that these bristles on the outside are going to be shorter, and it's not going to be cut blunt right across. It's super soft. This has been what I've been using as my powder brush now ever since I've gotten this and have been playing around with it. So that's a great brush. Then you have a blush brush, which basically just think of downsizing the powder one, and then you've got the blush brush. You look at it from the side, it does have that same tapered effect. This is a lot like my Revlon blush brush that you'll see me using in my tutorials. It's just about the same size. It's maybe just a hair smaller, and I like it, you know, for whether you want to contour with it or just put it on the apples of your cheeks. It's a nice brush. Again, nice and soft, good shape, nice fullness to it. I really can't say anything bad about that one. The next brush you have in size is very comparable to the one I just showed you, but it has that nice angled effect to it. So a lot of people like to use this kind of brush for contouring, and I do too. I think it's great for using those, you know, deeper bronzers or blushes that can kind of double as a contouring color. And basically, you know, you just kind of use that shape to your advantage, and it runs really nicely right under your cheekbone to apply that contour. And basically, you're dealing with a little less fluff on the brush. You know, it's a little, it's holding together a little bit more, and so you're going to get a more dense application of color. So think about areas you want to contour, even if it's the side of your nose, you know, you can still get a really concentrated application of color with this while still having that ability to blend over it and that kind of thing. Next brush is one that I haven't yet used in this set to apply liquid foundation, but this is a pretty typical liquid foundation brush. I believe I already even have one from Coastal Scents that's a liquid foundation brush that is practically like this, and I can tell you it works. I mean, it works wonderfully well. What you're dealing working with here are these synthetic bristles, and it's just, you know, it's nice and concentrated there. They're dense, they're soft, I mean, and this is a good size. Sometimes you'll get these foundation brushes and honestly they're too skinny to do the work. I think this is a good size. I mean, this is what I would use on my face if I were choosing to apply my liquid foundation, which is usually what you would use this for. But my favorite purpose for a brush like this, a flat brush like that, is to use it with a stick foundation. Those are kind of a little bit more thick and creamy, and I think they work really well with a dense flat brush like this for blending. So you have that there. Then we're getting into some eye brushes, and this next brush is one that I have never had. It is so unique and different, and this is called on the website the Doe Foot Eyeshadow Applicator. So it's about that big around, and then it's angled. Okay, it's cut blunt instead of being cut like, you know, with, like I said, with those shorter bristles on the outside. It's cut straight but at an angle. You know what I mean? It's cut all the way across blunt, but it's cut angled. And so basically, I don't have a ton of use for this brush. It's nice. I mean, it's nice for applying a all over color up in here. It's nice for blending things out, but at the same time, it's like, for packing on color, you want something a little bit flatter, so I wouldn't use this to like pack color on my eyelid. A nice wash of color, perhaps, but I don't have a whole lot of use for a brush that is cut blunt like that at an angle for the eye area. Next you've got an eyeshadow brush, and if you're looking at this and you're familiar with e.l.f., this is very, very close to the e.l.f. eyeshadow brush that I love so much. It's softer, it's more, it's a little more densely packed, but not by much, and it's a little bit wider from here to here, just a little more width on that. That doesn't bother me in my eyes. It's really not bigger by much, so this is gonna look, I mean, it operates for me exactly like the e.l.f. eyeshadow brush does. So, I mean, you've got that in the set. That's an essential, that's another one of my favorites because it's such an essential brush for being able to, you see how it's kind of flat? You look at it that way. A little bit flatter. It's an essential brush for packing shadow on your eyelids. So gotta have that, and I'm so glad that's in there. Then you've got a brush that's an interesting size. If this was the eyeshadow, this is the one I just showed you. And then you've got this one, which is rather large. And I would say this is good for, you know, getting that color all over, you know, your brow bone area, applying a highlight or an all-over wash of color. I like it better than that Doe Foot applicator that I just showed you because I like the tapered bristles. They're on the sides, shorter on the sides, longer up in the middle. But another great idea for this brush, this is a really nice size if you were going to put concealer around your eye and then set that concealer with some powder. This is really, really nice for that. It's a small enough size to where you can get in there where you need to go. And even if you were touching something up and you didn't want to mess up eye makeup or get light colored powder all over your eye makeup, you don't have to feel like, oh, I've got to go in with my powder brush to use powder to set my eye concealer. Use a smaller brush like this that still is a little bit fluffy, so you're not going to get it too like caked on or anything, but it's a nice way to just pat in there around your eye area and set concealer. So that's one of those that's kind of labeled as an eye brush, but I think it definitely has an alternate use. Next one is just a classic brush that everyone needs to have. It's one that has the lash comb and the brow brush here on the side. This is pretty standard, like the same kind of brush of this type that you're going to find anywhere. It's great that it's included in this collection because I feel it is so important. I mainly use this side with the little brush. I use that daily to brush my eyebrows down into place after I put a clear gel on them. We have this flat eyeliner brush. I'm going to go ahead and show you the other eyeliner brush that's in this set just for comparison purposes. These are both eyeliner brushes. This one, if you can look really close at it, I'm not sure, do you see how it's almost a little bit fluffy at the end? It's not a real sharp cut like, say, this one is. See how that cut is just absolutely, there's not one hair going anywhere other than just right in that little, you know, dense portion there. And this is a Taklon eyeliner brush. This angled brush is the perfect size. I like using this because it makes my cream liners manageable. I've used this with like my L'Oreal Hip cream liner, and it is just a great size. You can see about how big that is up next to my eye. So very nice for those cream liners because it maintains its shape like that. Now back to this one that I talked about a second ago. It's a little bit fluffier. It's got a little more give to it. It's got a little more movement in the brush. I like using this if I want a little more diffused look, if you wanted to blend something out a little bit and you wanted to do it right here in this under eye area. If you wanted to apply a light shimmery color kind of right in here or something. It's just nice to have that alternate kind of brush to turn to for a liner. Is this the most essential brush in the kit? No, but is it a nice brush to have? I would say yes. You also get a lip brush in this set. Honestly, I'm probably not going to use this for the fact that it is in a, I've got this nice kind of velvety inner, you know, lining here, and I don't want to stick a goopy lip brush back in there unless I got some kind of little nice cover for it. Maybe I could put my brush guard on it. That would be another option, but I have a nice lip brush that I use anyway. It's nice for everybody to have a lip brush. As far as lip brushes go, this is nice. It's in, you can see compared to my lips, that's about the size you're dealing with. You could get a nice line around your lips and then fill it in very easily with that. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense being in this kit, you know, with other brushes, with that velvety lining and sitting it right on there. I just wouldn't feel good about doing that. So maybe you could kind of wrap it up with a tissue or something until you had a chance to clean it off. But next brush you've got is a little concealer brush. This is another one of those brushes I'll tell you can do double duty with this, whatever you need more. This can be your concealer brush to excuse me, to apply concealer right in here around your eye, or this could be an eyeshadow brush, a really nice flat shadow brush that you can put right here in your crease and kind of move it along there and build that shadow from the crease and diffuse it out towards your eyebrows. Another brush you've got is a very, very small eyeshadow brush. This is, let's compare it to the one that I said you could pack color on all over your lid. I like using the comparison because you don't have the same frame of reference there. Yeah, you could fit about 2.5 of those for the width of this one. So this is going to be nice to get color right in there on the inner half of the lid. If you like a dark lid but then you like to go back and put a little bit of a highlight right here in the inner part, great for that. It's also a nice size if you like to diffuse your liner a little bit. It's great for that because it stays, it's so short and it's kind of stiff too. What you have is this. This little guy. It's like a very miniature fan brush. It earns a lot of cuteness points for me, but not a lot of practical points because it's like, what do you use that for? It's kind of stiff. It's actually quite stiff. Would I use it to, you know, if somebody has a good purpose for this, let me know because I'm not totally sure what I would use this for. Yeah. And the last brush that you have, this is great. This is going to be great for doing your outer V. It's a small kind of fine crease brush, basically. You hear me talk about fine crease brushes all the time for getting that dark, dark color right in there. This will help you build that outer V, and then you take one of the larger brushes and kind of help blend it out just a little bit. But that is all of the brushes that I showed you there. They all have that nice red handle that reminds you of Smashbox brushes, and if anybody is in the know and they just kind of see you real quickly using one of these brushes, they may think it's a Smashbox brush. But as far as the completeness of this set, if you're watching this and you have no makeup brushes, could you get this and have everything you needed? I would say almost. Almost. The one thing that I would like this to have is a brush like this that's a little bit bigger, a fluffier crease brush that could help you once you put that concentrated color on with this, that you could run over the border and just kind of diffuse that all out, because they don't really have that. You've got this doe foot applicator, but like I said, I'm not really wild about it. I don't think it's almost too big to really get in there and blend, but it can blend. So you could make it with just this set. But you may want to add one in or swap one out for a, and Coastal Scents themselves have plenty of affordable, singular brushes that you can buy. But, or you could just pick one up at your local drugstore. Yeah, just a fluffier crease brush would be nice. Other than that, you've got all the face brushes you need. From your concealer brush to your powder brush, you are set on face brushes, and you've really got a nice variety of nice quality eye brushes as well. And not to mention, you've got a nice way that you can travel with them. I don't think I have a better way to travel with my brushes than this, because this flap comes down, and a small detail here. When you start folding it up, you're going to fold it in once and then again. Notice what happens here. I don't know how well you'll be able to see because it's black, but this flap goes just a little bit past that fluffy powder brush. So you're not going to worry about that brush getting bent up as it folds over that final time. You know what I mean? So it's completely protected there. So that was a little bit of a concern for me because I'm like, oh, that nice fluffy brush is right there at the end. I wonder if it's going to get smashed every time I close this. But you close it up and it's got this little clasp right there like that, and people would think you were just throwing a purse into your, a little mini clutch into your bag, but really you've got all your makeup brushes here. Makes it easy for me when I'm doing my makeup because I'm not searching around for stuff. So yes, this is around $40 on Coastal Scents website, and at first you may think, $40. Okay, step back and think about how much these individual brushes would be and how much they would be if you bought much more expensive ones. I mean, there are people that will spend $40 on one brush out there. So this is really a nice deal, and to have the way to transport it all and everything like that. So I would really look into this if you don't have any brushes. If you do have brushes and maybe you look at the majority of your set and you're thinking, gosh, I'd like to have some new ones, or I really need some good face brushes, go ahead and get this, because these face brushes are my favorite part of the set. And to top it off, you've got nice eye brushes too. So thank you guys so much for tuning in for this video and listening to my long explanations of everything, but hopefully this gets you a little more aware of what is out there in terms of an affordable brush set, and I hope you guys have a great day.